the world.
Church of gospel, I am not a apostle. Another lost soul caught up in this crossroad. But I'm high though, I really think I'm high though. They want me Bible, buried in a Bible. Church of gospel, I am not a apostle. Another lost soul caught up on the crossroad. But I'm high though, really think I'm high though. They want me Bible, buried in a Bible. My soul.
This is Rev, back at you again on behalf of Nation United, New Media, on behalf of the president, DJ's Raw and Cut Truth. I'm back again with another Rev sermon. Today the topic of discussion is stop letting them play you for your own sandwich. The black athlete versus the black buck. Now I can hear the distractors saying already, is Nation United becoming a channel that's dedicated to just race or just dedicated to topics involving black people? Well, since we're in the middle of February, which is unfortunately classified Black History Month, I only say it because every month should be Black History Month. Every month should be celebrating the history of people all around the world. But somehow they picked the shortest. But since we're in that month, a great man once said, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. And looking at the last 12 months for African American people, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, say her name. Breonna Taylor, say her name. Breonna Taylor, say her name. Have the cries for Breonna Taylor already stopped? But let's go in. That phrase, play you for your own sandwich, I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. My elder, our ancestor, Steve Coakley, was the one that came up with that phrase. The analogy he used is that black people in America are always made to play above the average level in order to break through. And what you do by doing that, you play yourself out of position and allow your enemy to do less. And once you build yourself up, they're able to take more. His example that he used was the commercial with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan in the, I don't know if it was the late 80s, early 90s, you know, I wasn't around for it, so I don't know. But I remember looking up the video on YouTube and seeing the commercial. And on the commercial, Michael Jordan is sitting in the gym. This is the buck mentality. I need you to understand what I'm saying. I said, this is the buck mentality. Michael Jordan is sitting in the gym, about to eat his McDonald's. Larry Bird strolls in the gym, starts shooting shots, and he says, "What you doing, Michael?" Michael says, "About to eat lunch." Larry Bird looks over at Michael and says to him, "I'll play you for it." Mike, having the buck mentality, gets up and starts playing Larry Bird for his own lunch. Playing him for his own sandwich. Now, how this really should have went, in reality, Mike should have been sitting there on the bleachers. Larry should have came in, started shooting his shots. Understand what I'm saying now? Start shooting his shots. And when he came over to Michael and said, "What are you doing, Michael?" Michael should have responded, "I'm eating lunch." And when Larry said, "I'll play you for it," Michael should have said, "Get your own goddamn lunch." That's what should have been his response. Because I worked and I own this lunch. This is my lunch. You're not gonna make me play for my own lunch. Do you understand the mentality of the buck? See, what they get us on is machismo and bravado. And they tell us, jump the highest, be the fastest, be the best, compete, Compete. I'm going to sit in the skybox and watch you and make more money than you and make more money from you and then throw crumbs at you. I'm going to play you for your own sandwich. I'm going to give you restriction rules and guidelines of what you can do in this league, even though my league without your talent is nothing. Your talent can go to Rucker Park and have the entire block filled up. But my league without your talent is nothing, so I'm going to play you for your own sandwich, sucker. See, y'all didn't know Rev was coming like that this morning. Y'all didn't know it was about to go down like that. But we stand on the precipice of one of the most important games for LaMelo Ball. Let's use a case study, Deontay Wilder. I don't know if y'all know about boxing. I don't know if y'all follow boxing. But this is a channel, new media, that covers sports. So I'm going to give it to you like it really is. Deontay Wilder is a lot like LaMelo Ball. An unorthodox unorthodox fighter, unorthodox style that nobody can figure out. All they used to talk about with Deontay Wilder was the fact that his form was not the proper form. Does that sound familiar? They said the way he threw a punch was ugly. They say the way he threw a punch was wild. And they hated the fact that even though it was wild, even though it was unorthodox, it could send you to heaven. It can send you to heaven with the blink of an eye. That sounds a lot like LaMelo Ball. His game is unorthodox. His shot is unorthodox. He shoots off the wrong leg. He fades away. He's ambidextrous. He can jump off the wrong foot. He makes passes that you shouldn't make. One of the rules of basketball is that you don't jump to make a pass. Melo always jumps to make a pass. Well, Deontay Wilder was outmaneuvered because they couldn't beat him in a fair match. They couldn't figure out his style. They couldn't understand why a guy 218 pounds could reach back and knock a 270 to 300 pound man back to Africa. They didn't understand he had the soul of all his ancestors in his right fist. So what they did was they played him for his own sandwich and they outmaneuvered him. This is the black athlete and the black buck. They told him, because they knew he had a warrior spirit, we're going to give you pre-fight dates. Now, pre-fight dates, if you know anything about boxing and Money Mayweather versus Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, when Mayweather became Money Mayweather, all that pre-fight stuff in boxing died. Because Floyd understood, you're not going to play me for my own sandwich. I'm going to be more strategic and maneuver in this boxing game. You're not going to give me any pre-fight dates. I'm going to choose who I'm going to fight. And if I'm feeling this way or feeling that way, I'm going to make the right strategic move. But they understand that we're people of bravado and we're people of passion and we're people that will fight. And we're people that are prideful. So what they did with Deontay, they boosted his pride. Oh, so we're going to give you a fight versus Luis Ortiz. Then we're going to turn around and give you a fight against against Tyson Fury. And then we're going to give you another fight against Luis Ortiz. And this is already going to be mapped out. And Dominic Brazil. This is already going to be mapped out. See, what they did was they put him through the trials of Hercules. See, if you study the tragedy of Hercules, Hercules was the same way. He was never going to be able to complete that gauntlet and remain the same after the gauntlet. So when he was doing the trials to prove himself to Zeus, really what they were doing, or really what Zeus was doing, was breaking him down mentally. And with each battle, he was losing a piece of himself. See, if he was quote unquote already the son of Zeus, why the hell I gotta go through trials? Why the hell I gotta go through these obstacles in order to prove to you who you supposed to be my daddy? Why the hell I gotta prove to you who I am? You know who the hell I am. Play you for your own sandwich. Deontay beats or knocks out Tyson Fury, or knocks down Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury supposedly gets up. Some people say it was a long count. Before the fight was even over, they was already declaring it had to be a rematch. People within his own camp, people within his own management that are part of an old boy system in boxing were already setting him up to lose. American promoters like Bob Arum, who had nothing to do with Tyson Fury, jumped on the coattails of Tyson Fury because the fix was already in. But Deontay, because he's being played for his own sandwich, and he's fighting for his pride, and he's fighting with machismo, he's not understanding the game within the game. Like we was trying to talk about last night. So they sent him to fight Luis Ortiz, who was the number 2 contender at the time, a polished Cuban boxer. He fights through that gauntlet and survives. And he's rewarded with another fight with Tyson Fury, now who has the backing of one of the oldest and most corrupt promoters in boxing, Bob Arum and Top Rank. So now, Deontay, even though you're the champion, you don't have a chance to choose your slate of fights. You got to prove yourself to us. And anybody we tell you to fight that's a top contender, even though we know in boxing, boxers no longer fight top contenders anymore. Once in a blue moon do you see 2 great fighters fight each other. Not Deontay Wilder. He had to fight all the top contenders. And even though it was declared a draw with Fury, you got to have a rematch. The situation with Fury happens. Some people say, and I'm one of those people that say, because I boxed as well, that something was up with Fury's gloves. There's several videos that show these allegations. Deontay Wilder ended up with a cracked skull. Tyson Fury is not a man that is known for any type of power, but all of a sudden he's cracking Deontay's soul. I mean, he's cracking his head. A trainer who was told not to throws in the towel. The fix is in. It's too late, Deontay. And I say this as a brother, but they played you for your own sandwich. You lost the fight before the fight because you thought the fight was really in the ring. You thought your physical prowess was enough to overcome the obstacles of Zeus, and it's not. We as a people have to start playing the game within the game and being more cerebral and less reactionary and more offensive. Don't let somebody goat you into a trap because you're so busy trying to prove your physical prowess. Don't let them play you for your own sandwich. Think about all of these NBA players with all of the power that they have in their talent. Why the hell don't we have a league of our own? Because we're being played for our own sandwich. LeVar Ball was a glitch in the matrix. He understood, hey, my boys are an asset. My boys are walking stock markets. My boys are walking billionaires. And you're not going to play us for our own sandwich. We going to make the rules. You stay in your lane. You stay in your lane. And we going to build what we want. And we going to take what we want. This has been another Rev sermon. Brothers and sisters, real rap, no cap. Stop letting them play you for your own sandwich. This has been another Rev sermon with Nation United New Media on behalf of the president, DJ's Raw Uncut Truth.
Welcome to the real world.